which is still Denny Mason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks, Denny.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So we don't have any new people here today, right? Okay, very good. I'm going to introduce our evaluation team today. So our grammarian is Storm Davis. You ready for that, Storm?
Yes, I am actually typing that right now. So the word of the day is huskro. It is informal plus humorous.
Will you say that word again?
Huskro.
Will you spell for us?
Huskro. Just a second. It will be in chats.
Yes, but will you go ahead and spell it?
Husko?
Hooseggow.
Informal. Okay.
And is there a sentence? Is there a sentence, Storm?
It gives me a did you know Spanish something. It gives me not exactly. I am on something Merriam-Webster. I'm not sure. It's not giving me a good definition. It just says United States informal plus humorous jail. It's in chat. That's the definition I got for it. It has examples. Here, glasses help.
They do.
Yeah. Let's see. Lee Young stars as a woman released in prison after several serving time from a murder she did not commit. No sooner as she was let out of the Huskrow than she begins her quest to hunt down the real murderers. San Francisco Chronicle from October 6th of 2020.
Very good. Now, I'm old enough to know that that word is used as huskow. Like huskow. Yeah, like I'm going to put you in the huskow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Very good. Thank you for looking up that word. That's an unusual word. How did you find that one?
It was the #1 link. Word of the day. It was the #1 spot just down. Yeah.
Great. You're
Yeah.
bringing it. All right. Very good. And now our today was going to be Farron. I'm not sure that we filled that role. Is there anyone who'd like to do that role today?
I can do it. I'm timer, but I don't mind doing both roles.
That would be great, Denise. Why don't you go ahead and give us the odd counter and the timer roles then?
As the odd counter, it will be my responsibility to check all of you for any crutch words you use, any delayed pauses, ticks, little, indiscretions that you have during your speech, and then I'll give a report at the end. As timer, I will be timing the speeches, which is 1 for Chanel. I already have my app set up on my phone. It will turn green when Chanel has reached 5 minutes and she knows that she's reached her minimum requirements. And then again at 6, it'll turn yellow. And when she's reached her 7 minutes, it'll turn red. And then for table topics, you all have 1 to 2 minutes. The app will turn green at 1 minute. Again, and at 1 minute and 30 seconds, it will turn yellow. And then at 2 minutes, it turns red. Again, I will give a report at the end of the meeting on how we all did.
Very good, Denise. Thank you for doing 2 roles today.
No
That's
problem.
very helpful. And our Zoom master today is Joey Myers.
Thank you, Danny. And since we don't have too many new people here, I will just be trying to make sure we pin our speakers, whoever that is, whether that's our speaker, our evaluator, or table topics people. And we'll keep you out of the Huskow, the Toastmaster Huskow, by allowing you to be able to look at what you're doing, give you some feedback so that you can make your presentations better in the future and get your point across and your message and all that good stuff. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Joey, for doing that. I'm going to turn this back over to our Toastmaster, Taylor.
Thank you, Denny. Today we have one speaker, Chanel West, and her speech title is Here Comes the Sun. And Chanel is working on completing level 3 of the presentation mastery pathway. Today she'll be giving her first humorous speech about a subject she has a lot of experience in. Please get ready to laugh and welcome Chanel.
Thanks, guys. I know we're not supposed to preface our speeches, but full disclosure, I don't have it memorized, so my eye contact is not going to be that great. Hello, all. My name is Chanel, and I have a confession to make to you all today. I am not a morning person. So who here are the weirdos who actually like to get up in the morning? You roll out of bed, you get your cup of coffee, you just see the sun shining and sing kumbaya. I mean, what is that like? I really have no clue what is that like. I have tried for many years to become a morning person, but to no avail. So I stand before you today, a certified expert in not being a morning person, almost 25 years of experience on my resume. And I am going to tell you 3 things that with my expertise I have learned from not being a morning person. The first thing that I've learned from not being a morning person is how to get really creative with an alarm clock. Now, as all non-morning people know, possibly the greatest single threat to living an orderly life is this little thing called the snooze button. It is so small, yet so powerful, and so dangerous. Like metal to a magnet is the hand to the snooze button at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Now, I sleep on a 26-year-old mattress. It is not comfortable. I mean, I toss and turn at night because I can feel the springs underneath me. But for some reason, when my alarm clock goes off at 6:30 in the morning, that mattress suddenly feels like the most cushioned memory foam that you can imagine, and I do not want to leave. So I have tried many creative ways to try to get myself out of bed. I take my alarm clock and I put it like in a box under my bed or up on a high shelf, so I actually have to get out of my bed to turn it off, and I hope that that will wake me up. I try different ringtones on my phone, one of them being Here Comes the Sun, which I can never, ever listen to ever again because it was my alarm ringtone for 2 years, and it just ruined it for me. I've tried setting 2 alarms so that when one goes off and I snooze it, then the second one goes off 2 minutes later, and it's like, ooh, sneak attack, surprise, and hoping that that will wake me up. None of it has worked so far. I went to a college that was notorious for holding on to the long-standing tradition of having 7 a.m. classes. Most colleges have abolished this, but not mine. And of course, being that misguided optimist, I kept thinking, well, maybe if I put myself in situations where I have to get up early, that I will learn to be a morning person. So this brings me to number 2 thing that I learned from not being a morning person, which is actually how to do math. It can be very helpful with this. So let me tell you how this goes. I lived on campus in a dorm, and I had to be in my seat at 7 a.m. before that switched to 7 a.m. in 1 second if I didn't want to be thrown in the college hooskow for being late to class all the time. And so I calculated, okay, I have to leave my room at 6:57 a.m. if I want to get 3 minutes next door to the building where my class is. And so that means if I get out of bed at 6:43, it takes me 3.5 minutes to go down the hall, use the bathroom, wash my face. About 3 minutes, I pull my underwear on, my clothes on, my coat, all the stuff that I need. Maybe another 30 seconds to brush my hair, and then 2 minutes to mix up my oatmeal. 45 seconds to run downstairs if I'm really booking it to the microwave on the bottom floor because we weren't allowed to have microwaves in our room. And that'll just about put me in my seat right at 7 a.m. So that was my routine every single morning. Does that sound fun? Not stressful at all, right? Super fun. Now, I would like to say that post-college, I successfully learned how to be a better morning person, but that would actually be a lie. The second job that I had after graduating college, I had to clock in every day at 7:30 a.m. and it was across town. I live in Clovis and I worked off of the 99. which means that I got to experience the joys every morning of driving on the freeway in rush hour traffic to get to work. But it did teach me the third thing that I've learned from not being a morning person, which is how to be a great multitasking driver. You guys know what I'm talking about? So I drive a 2004 Toyota Matrix, and it is a manual, so it's a stick shift, which typically takes a little bit more concentration and hand movements. You need to be paying attention. However, I have very successfully learned how to eat a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, drink juice, switch through the radio stations while shifting my car in rush hour traffic and trying to get off of the 180 onto 99 North. I've gotten very good at that. In my defense, though, I've actually never been in an accident. Thank you, Lord. I think I've been protected. I grew up with my dad repeatedly pounding Benjamin Franklin's well-known saying into my head, which is early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Truthfully, the only defense that I can come up with is that Benjamin Franklin said man and not woman. So I think that maybe I'm actually exempt from that piece of advice. That's the best that I can do. I would like to stand before you here today with some sort of good advice or hope that I can give you about how to do better in the mornings, but unfortunately I don't have it. Maybe one day I will find a way to make Ben Franklin proud, but that has not happened yet. Madam Toastmaster.
Great job, Chanel. And I don't know if I agree with your dad that people who wake up early are always wealthier, because I think I saw a study that a lot of CEOs also are not morning people. So there's hope.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So now it will be the Table Topics Master, Heather Davis.
Thank you. And I loved that, Chanel. I don't think I've ever identified with that speech more in my life, because I'm right there with you. I'm not a morning person by any means. So today for the table topics, it's about Easter eggs. And so I had 3 different questions for you, and I'll put them in the chat right now. So the first question is, you can do a lot with Easter eggs, everything from painting to hiding to finding them. Do you have a favorite Easter egg memory? Number 2, Easter eggs are always fun. What is the coolest thing you found in an Easter egg, or the coolest, hardest place you found an Easter egg? And the last question is, Easter eggs are also known as a secret or hidden movie reference, most commonly found in Disney movies. Do you have a favorite Easter egg movie moment? And I can go first. Number 1, I love painting the Easter eggs. For me, that was always a fun family thing to do, dyeing them the day before Easter and then hiding them in the backyard. There were 3 of us kids, and we were all very competitive, so our parents had to get creative to make sure we all got the equal amount, that they color coordinated the eggs. So you get this one and you get the yellow one, and we did that for many years. And that for me is always a very fun memory, and I look forward to being able to do that with my future kids. What about any of you? Anybody want to go first, volunteer? No?
I can go, Heather.
Okay, Joey.
So back in the day when we did the Easter egg hunts when I was a kid, there was a lot of candy, probably about 98, 99% of the Easter eggs that were hidden from us out in our yard, front yard, backyard, or at a family's place was candy, and maybe 50-50 chocolate versus the sour types, the jelly beans and things like that. Fast forward to our kiddos now, and the other 2% was money. Usually came in the form of coins, never usually dollars. We're lucky if they were dollars in my day. Fast forward to now with our kiddos, and now it's almost reversed. There is about actually maybe not 2% candy. There's probably more like maybe 10% candy. There's still candy there, or maybe 25%, 10 to 25% candy. And the rest of it is money. So my son ended up pulling in, I think at my parents' house. We did it at my parents' house, and then we did it at my wife's parents' house, my in-laws. And at my parents' house, I think my son brought in like $25, and then my daughter was around $20. And then at the in-laws, they were the only kids going out and hunting for Easter eggs, and it was almost similar. I just couldn't fathom being their age, Easter egg hunts, and coming in with that amount of wad of cash. It's almost like a pirate going in and stealing money from the poor inhabitant boats that are around them. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, it's funny how things change. Now it's all they care about is the money. Okay, what about you, Storm? Do you have any answers to any of those questions?
Yes, I do. I do. But all right, getting the word of the day, Huskow, and the questions like going like this is just very, very difficult. I was thinking maybe what's the coolest places that eggs are hidden? I mean, I've got a 4-year-old, she's going around here. In fact, so what I was thinking was, we hide eggs, and it's like, we've got like hanging baskets. We have places that are out of reach for just a regular 4-year-old, and they have to be a larger person to help them, because they're just like over my head and stuff like that. And my daughter, she was so proud of herself. It was for her like the next day, so the day after, she's like, "Hey, look, Daddy, I found an Easter egg," and it was just one of those plastic ones, ones with wrapped and candy and everything else like that. And I was thinking, wow, Violet, you found one. Good job. It's like, it was like in this little hole inside of an air hockey table. You know where the puck goes down when you're playing air hockey? So it was inside of where the puck goes for air hockey type table. And I was like, that's like same as jail. I mean, the basket is, I mean, if those little eggs they're actually little chicks or something else like that, if they hatched, it's like, that's that's their nest, or it's jail. There's a Huskow up there, or it's inside of a hockey table, well hidden. So here's an egg up in the basket where it's nice and everybody can see it. And then you have a hockey table right there. And I was thinking, how do I tie those together? But yeah, someone missed a couple eggs, and she went around and found them the next day. It was actually a lot of fun for her.
Oh, that's so cool. You give the Easter eggs a little Huskow. I wonder if they, eventually get found, because there's been times where we didn't find Easter eggs until like a year later. So they were in there for a little too long. Okay, what about you, Taylor? Any stories pop up?
My favorite Easter egg hunt was probably this past Sunday. Like I said earlier, we were in the desert in the east side of the Sierras, and it's this really cool recreation area called the Alabama Hills, and it has really interesting rock formations and very, very beautiful mountain views. And our friend dyed a bunch of eggs from her chickens, but she dyed them with like turmeric and coffee and other plants, and she had painted flowers on them, and they were the most beautiful things I've seen. And so it was really fun. Just she hid them all over these rock formations, and we're all almost 30, but we turned into little kids again, and we were running around the desert looking for these eggs. It was really fun, and probably my favorite Easter so far.
That sounds like so much fun. Adult Easter eggs are a thing. Easter egg hunts, I swear. Someone said the other day they need to hide wine bottles. Okay. What about you, Danny? Do you have any stories to share?
Easter for me was always I have one sister. So my parents dressed us alike and did the whole thing. And my dad was a photographer also. That was his side hobby. So he was always making us pose for everything. Very funny. So anytime a camera's facing me, I'm smiling. And so mostly he took pictures of us during Easter in our cute little outfits, whatever it was. I'm not sure we got the deeper meaning of Easter,
Mhm.
but we got the clothes meaning of Easter.
Any of the pink bunny costumes like in Christmas Story?
No.
Oh, I love that. And memories of your dad taking photos every Easter. That's special too. Okay, we just have two more people, I think. Denise and Chanel, whoever would like to go.
I'll go.
Okay.
Easter is my second. Actually, it's really tied with Christmas. I love Easter. The main reason is it's in spring. The weather is typically perfect. We've had occasions when it's been a bit windy or rainy. But overall, since I was a child, I can remember the day being warm and sunny. It's a holiday that we celebrate outside, which I live to be outside. It's also a holiday that is shared with my mom's side of the family, who is large, but more importantly, who we don't see as often as our immediate family. So that's always really enjoyable. The last, year, of course, we didn't have Easter in 2020, and it was really hard for all of us. And this year, since most of us have been immunized, my sisters and I got together, not with our cousins and everybody, but the thing that stood out for me the most this particular Easter is that it was 78 degrees for one,
Mhm.
but that we have a lot of new little ones in our family. And then we have a couple of preteens who are at that age where you still love them, but they're kind of annoying. And they were very competitive, which my whole family's competitive with the Easter egg hunt. But my little great niece sat down, she's 3, 4, with her 10 eggs. And she had a pot of gold and she was happy and every egg was beautiful. And whether it had money in it or candy or it was a colored egg, they were all as wonderful as the next. And she really made Easter for all of us just with her attitude and her appreciation. And so it was Harmony's year this year and she made it great.
Mhm. Beautiful.
That's a pretty name, Harmony. I like that. I don't think I've met a Harmony.
She's so cute.
Well, my family celebrated our Easter this year on our family Easter at home on Saturday because Sunday we were at church for like 6 hours. And it was just me, my 2 sisters, my parents, and then my sister's boyfriends. And my parents decided that even though we're all older, I'm 24, my sisters are 22 and 18, and then their boyfriends are 17 and 29. My parents decided that they still wanted to do an Easter egg hunt for us. They're like, well, we want to hide eggs and we want you to find them, and we don't have any little kids yet. And so they hid 60 eggs in our backyard and then proceeded to have a great time watching the 5 of us run around and try to find them. I think that my sister's boyfriends might have thought that we were a little bit crazy. But it was actually still really fun, even as a 24-year-old. I still enjoyed looking for eggs and having to search. They hide them harder now. They get tape and tape them up under things, and you got to dig through stuff. So it's been taken to the next level.
Oh, well, thank you all for sharing your lovely stories. I will pass it back to Taylor, Miss Zoom Master for the day.
Thanks, everyone. And I think now it's time to pass it to Denny, and she'll evaluate the evaluation team or introduce the evaluation team.
I'm going to do an evaluation of Chanel's speech.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's great. Chanel, I think we saw a whole different side of you today. I loved that you were smiling. I felt your energy come right through the screen. I'm sure in person it's even more. You did some things that were really great. Your sense of humor came across really well. It was obviously a well-prepared speech, and I like that very much. One thing that you did that I liked a lot was you leaned into the camera, and that worked for everything you were doing. Your hand gestures were great. You smiled a lot. You looked right at me. I could see you looking right at me, which was perfect. You had a good order to your speech. You gave great sequences of, for instance, your getting ready sequence in the morning before school was great. Everything was very well thought out. Now you mentioned that this was a speech that was off the cuff, not off the cuff, but it was not read. You didn't have, I could tell that you had some notes there maybe, but it was very natural. It came across very natural. And I loved seeing you smile. That was really great. I could see you laughing, smiling. That comes right across. There's not too much I would improve on or that I could point out. If I wanted to be super nitpicky, the only thing I would say to work on a little bit is there's a little tisk in there that's sort of consistent through the speech. That's about the only thing I could find wrong with that. But I love the humor you brought to that speech, and I hope that you will continue to do whatever it was that you did as preparation for that speech. I hope you'll continue to do that in your future speeches, because it's like a level 10 and it's really nice. I like it. Good job.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Taylor.
All right, and now our evaluation team will give their reports. And Denise, the timer, give her report.
Okay, I think everyone did really well. I'll start with Chanel. Your speech was fantastic, Chanel. I really loved it. I related way too much to it. And you were almost the perfect time, 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Her speech needed to be between 5 and 7 minutes. So you nailed that. It was great. I'll just kind of go real quick with the table topics. Heather, you spoke for 32 seconds. Joey, 1 minute, 35 seconds. Storm, 1 minute, 26 seconds. Taylor for 51 seconds. Denny for 35 seconds. I forgot to time myself. Chanel, you spoke for 51 seconds on table topics. And Denny's evaluation was at 2 minutes and 9 seconds. So well done, everybody.
Sorry, the next person will be the all counter report, which is also you, Denise.
Thank you, Taylor. We did really well, I think. I did, and this is a big deal. So everyone listen. Joey had a double I made sure to write that down because I never catch Joey with any crutch words. So that was, I felt like that was good for me because, you know, it's hard for me to pay attention, to be honest.
Shame on you, Denise.
Yeah, I know. Of all days, I pay attention, huh, Joey? Taylor, I got not a single crutch word from you for anything, so that was really good. Chanel, I had a couple of so's and a couple of tisks on your speech, but very few compared to when you first started. So I thought it was great. Heather had a 2 us and an and. Storm, you had a couple of likes and a couple of buts. And Denny, you had a so and an and. And then when you were doing the evaluation, which I think is kind of interesting, I heard a tisk from you for the first time. And so that's my report, but I think everyone did great.
Thanks, Denise. Storm will give our grammarian report.
So the word of the day was Huskow. Now Joey, he snuck it in so nice, so easy. I almost missed it. So Joey, he got it right off the bat. Chanel, Heather got the word of the day as well. Good luck for everybody else on next time.
And our general evaluator, Denny, will give us a meeting evaluation.
Our meeting went great today. We had some, it always seems to happen that we have somebody that needs to change a role or those circumstances come up, and it's never a problem. So Farron wasn't feeling well today, unfortunately, and we were able to farm those roles out really quickly. Thankfully, we have people that are experienced in the club in running those important roles, and that went really well. We only had one speech today, and we were able to extend our table topics out and get everybody in. That was excellent. So good job, everybody. Great meeting.
Cool. Well, thank you, Denny. And I just probably want to give a sticker to everybody. Obviously, we got to get Chanel for her giving her speech today. And then we have many people taking on multiple roles and some last minute getting word of the day, like right away in last minute. So as Denny said, coming into a meeting where you have a couple people, you know, somebody's sick, somebody canceled last minute because of work, things like that. That's what being a Toastmaster is all about. It's not all about having everything pre-planned and everything going to this plan and organized and the whole thing. A lot of this is being able to ruffle your feathers a little bit, get you emotionally either nervous or anxious, and still being able to perform, whether that's give a speech or an evaluation or be the president for the president or doing table topics or anything like that. So I think everybody gets a virtual sticker today, but definitely our speaker, Chanel. So everybody, great work today. All right, let's take a look at our agenda for next couple weeks. So it looks like we got Farron back in at Toastmasters, and then I'm good on the 13th. So Brent is no longer going to be with us. I guess he had a job opportunity out, I think in Iowa, I think he said. So he's no longer going to be with our club, but he'll probably, I'm hoping he stays with it, but out there somewhere in corn country. So he won't be able to give his speech next week. Anybody want to do that? Let me see here, 1 second. Let me pull up some notes so that I can get into our roles that I can do. Okay. So anybody want to give a speech next week? Denny? All right. So the April 13th speech. Denny. Okay. And we got our Toastmaster field general eval for next week. Denise or Taylor? No? Denise?
Either one.
Or either one, or we could go table topics. One of you. Those are usually our business.
I'll do table topics.
Table topics? Okay. So Denise is gen eval. And then table topics. Taylor. Okay. And then our.
I'll evaluate Denny.
Okay. Evaluation. Let's see. No. Danny. Anybody want to evaluate mine? Heather. All right. And Heather, you've given 3 speeches, right?
Oh, I may not qualify. I've only given 2.
2. Okay.
I could do something else, and then the next time I could
Do
do.
you want to do one of the all counter?
Yeah, I'll do all counter.
All counter?
Yeah.
Counter. Heather?
I can evaluate yours, Joey, if you want.
Thank you, Denise. Let me get you there. And Denise 4. Okay. And then we have timer, timer and word of the day. I think our last ones. I have to do double duty.
I was gonna say I could do double duty on one of those too.
Okay. Did you want to maybe do
I'll do timer.
timer?
Yeah,
Thank you, Heather.
you're welcome.
And then word of the day. Everybody want to do word of the day there? Should we, anybody not here today that probably could do it next week? Let me see.
Maybe Farron.
Farron, because she can be
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster too.
Mm.
For Marion.
Hmm?
Word of the day, good Marion.
Yeah.
For next week,
Mm-hmm.
shall I?
You want to do it again, Storm?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, I think we got it all right. We got our evaluators, we got our, and then let's see. We got Zoom Master. We'll just put Farron, or does anybody else want to do Zoom? I can just put Farron in there. Okay, so I think we're good there. Any other speeches in the coming weeks, the 20th or the 27th? We have Farron in there for the 20th. Anybody else want to give a speech in any one of those? Taylor, look at that smile on
I
your
know I need to. You can put me down for the 20th.
Okay.
I'll try.
Taylor speech 20th. Okay, anybody else? 27th. Storm Davis. Oh, Heather.
You could put me down for the 27th. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that would be ample enough time.
Okay.
I'm just nervous because I know I need to, because I have a for work a presentation coming up, so I know I need some practice.
Uh-huh. And then
Yeah.
that'll
You can do your presentation for your speech.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, then I think I'll do that. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll do that.
exactly. And that'll unlock your evaluator. Now you can be an evaluator after that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? For now, we good? All right. I will get that all set up in the back end so that we're all good to go there. Any other questions, comments, or criticisms? I know we're going to end about 10 minutes early. You know how I like to talk. I can fill the 10 minutes if you want me to. It'd be like a filibuster, I guess. If we just start talking about baseball or whatever. Anybody have questions, comments?
I want to say the speech was pretty awesome about sleep. I've had some challenges before. My mom, she would at 5 a.m. So in the summer, sunrise is at like 5:06, 5 something a.m. And so as soon as that sun rose up, there would be blasting Christian music throughout the house. It was so loud, and it's like, there's no pillow. I didn't learn to put a pillow over your head. It's like, I guess it's that time again. Got to go water all the fruit trees, feed the chickens, the horses, all the sheep, everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Very much.
I'm just going to share little harmonies, our little
Oh,
kid of the day on Easter.
The
The
pigtails.
best attitude.
Look at the pigtails. Those are the best. Those
Little brag
pigtails.
till I get my own grandkids, you know. I brag about my sisters.
You sound like my mom.
One day.
And one last thing before we go, Chanel, her and I talked before the competition and just talked about some tips and things like that. And some of the things that you'll notice that she did, I thought she did very well. And Denny mentioned a lot of them, but just again, drawing back attention to it. And for those of you to try in your speeches, is the challenge with Zoom is that you're in this little box and you have all this box to be able to work in. So you saw her, especially when she's making a point, she comes into the camera. So it's almost like leaning in when you're there in person to be able to do that. Yeah, see, she's using going back behind it, coming back. So there's different ways to be creative to use that whole box here. And I know she's got on me, Chanel, with hands, because I'm using hands, but they're like down here and you can barely see my fingers and stuff. And you saw her use her hands in certain instances in her speech. So and Denny mentioned a lot of this smiling, everything looked genuine, and how she was doing her speech. So being able to use this area is a good thing, and a thing that you'll find with a lot of the challenge videos. If you go on YouTube and look up international speech contest winner, or humorous speech contest winner, or contestant, or whatever, that's what you'll see these people doing. And they'll use this space now, especially within this last year when we started doing this. They'll use it very, very well. So just something to think about. And to, we talk about say what you're going to say it, or tell them what you're going to tell them what you just told them. That's a great way. It's a great starting way to get in and to organize your speech and things like that. But if you want to jump beyond that and start to do things that take it beyond that level, those are some of the things. So just some food for thought there. Any other things? Because like I said, I got another 8 minutes. I can keep talking, or I can let y'all go.
I'm going to step out, guys, but I'll see you next week.
All right, everybody. Have a great
Bye.
week.
Bye, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.